I'm sending the email to the whole group. So we're starting now. You can see my screen.
Yes, Krishna, we could see the PowerPoint.
Okay. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Brahma Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. So here, Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Sri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. We are starting with the verse 20 of chapter 4. Tyaktva Karma-phalasangam Nitya-tripto Nirashrayah Karmanyabhipravrittopi Naiva Kinchit Karoti Saha. The main meaning of the shloka is simple. Tyaktva Karma-phalasangam means giving up the fruits of actions. Nitya-tripto Nirashrayah means be, just a second, I'm going to. Nitya-tripto Nirashrayah. Nitya-tripto means it is not eternally being satisfied. It is actually Nitya Atman triptaha. That means being contented with the self alone. Nitya Atmani triptaha. Nitya means the eternal self, and being contented with the eternal self, that is the Jivatma. Nirashrayaha, dependent on nothing else. Karmani abhipravrittopi, even though a person acts, naiva kinchit karoti saha, he does not do any work. That means he does not get tainted by any work. What are we trying to do here? We are trying to understand what is Karma Yoga, what is the Jnana aspect of Karma Yoga, and how does it end up being aspect of Parabrahman, or the source of everything, that is the Lord himself. So this is the topic of this. Lord Krishna clarifies these issues in several shlokas from 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Right? He clarifies using 4 shlokas. The concept is somewhat central, somewhat similar in all these 4 shlokas. But Lord Krishna himself spending 4 shlokas to explain the same concept over and over again in a different way means something. What does it mean? It means these are important verses and the concepts are harder than we think. So we have to think properly and understand the concepts. That's the idea here. Ramanuja Bhashya says, Etadeva vibrinoti Tyaktva iti Karma-phalasangam Tyaktva Nitya-triptaha Nitya swatmanyeva triptaha. We went over this meaning. I'm just going to clarify some things. Forgive me if I'm repeating some things. Let's be clear rather than being unclear. So giving up the fruits of actions, being content with the Atma, Swatmanyeva triptaha, their own self. Tripti means being happy. See, this tripti is a very, very complicated word. How can you be contented? People are generally not contented. They're always looking for new things. But this Nitya Atma, that is the eternal self, is very powerful. It's more powerful, more attractive than anything else. That is why this yogi, karma yogi, becomes extremely happy with the self itself. Nirashrayah astira prakrtau ashraya buddhirahitah yaha. That means external world is always temporary. We expect something that doesn't happen. We get something, that thing goes away, or that thing perishes, or something, somebody takes it. So you lose something. So anything we think that this is for real for me, it's not everlasting. So all the external life is something not to be trusted. So this Karma Yogi, what he does is, he does not depend on the external world because it's temporal. But he does actions in this temporal world. Karmani karoti. He does actions, but he does not depend on the impermanent world. So his mind is clear. His mind, he has a firm conviction that he has to depend on only the eternal self, not the impermanent life around him. But he still continues to work. Saha karmanya abhimukhyena pravrittopi. He is extremely interested in the work. He works with focus, and he acts, and he does all the karmas. But karma-padeshena jnana-abhyasam eva karoti. In the rules of doing karma, he is actually practicing jnana. He is not doing jnana yoga as per the texts, but in the form of doing karma. So from that is, by doing karma yoga alone, he achieves what he wants. That means he is actually focusing on jnana without actually focusing on jnana, but by doing karma itself. Let's go further. So karmanyabhimukhyena means tadeka parata, focus in that karma. So he has got full focus on karma yoga, but still he is practicing jnana because jnana is within. Now, in the previous shloka, how the kama varjitaha means Tyaktva Karma-phalasangam. The word kama varjitaha is same as Tyaktva Karma-phalasangam. That means giving up the fruits of actions. Sankalpa varjitaha was given in the previous shloka. That is same as Nitya-tripto. Sankalpa varjitaha means you are not combining that is, you don't have the illusion that your body is yourself. So you are only, you know what the self is. So you're happy with the self. That means slowly in every verse, there is improvement, spiritual improvement. That means spiritual improvement is not easy to get. So Lord Krishna is explaining how slowly a karma yogi starts realizing Atman within, using karma yoga itself. That is just by karma yoga. The eternal and permanent is the self within. That is the Jivatma. So the focus is on the Jivatma. Now, Ashraya means not about external places, so he doesn't need a home or something, not like that. Ashraya is not a support or a shelter. Nirashraya means what we think as, usually the other people think that the world is something to believe in with their trust, and they think that the world itself as a support, life, other people, work, they think that all those are their support, which is all material, but it's not permanent. Even though it is not permanent, people delude themselves that, oh, that's all permanent. It is asthira. And one other point is, usually people, what is the supporter? In our own body, Atman is the supporter of the body. And many people think that, oh, the body is what is keeping the Atman together. It's not true. It's actually the Atman which is keeping the body together. So this person doesn't think the body is support at all. Body is just an instrument for them, and it's a modification of matter. It is impermanent. He knows the body can go away, while the self, which is himself, really, the self is the eternal. So he will look after the self. He will focus on the self, but do all his actions. Nirashihi yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha. This is the next verse. And the concept improves a little bit. Lord Krishna is talking about a little bit more spiritual progress here. Nirashihi yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan apnoti kilbisham. The meaning is, Nirashihi means without desire in the fruits of karma. Yatachittatma. Yatachittatma means having controlled his mind. Here, the Atma word is used in the sense of the mind. That means the meaning of word Atma here is mind. In Sanskrit, the terms are not easy to understand. Chitta means also an aspect of mind. Here, Yatachittatma means you have controlled your Chitta and Atma. Chitta is the one which stores all the impressions in your mind. That's a portion of your mind. So he has controlled his mind. Tyakta sarva parigraha. He has given up ownership of everything around him. He doesn't think that he owns everything. He has given up the idea of the ownership. He knows that nothing he owns. Everything is owned by somebody else. That is God. Kevalam shariram karma kurvan. That means he is doing limited amount of activity, which is enough to support the body. He doesn't want too much. But if it's just that, if he can keep his body, his pranas working, all these things, body is in a good condition, that's all it matters for him. He doesn't need additional material wants of any kind. He doesn't need them. Kilvisham na apnoti, kurvan, kilvisham na apnoti. That means such a person does not, he is not affected by anything which binds him. Kilbisham is karma bandhana. Kilbisham means bondage or defects. Kilbisham is defect. He is not subjected to defects that bind him. Rest of the people who have selfish interests, selfish motives, and greed and all those things, they get bound in this world because of all. See, look at the bondage here. Nobody is bound using a rope or something. Nobody is sent to a prison or something like that. But the inherent samskaras, that is kama, krodha, lobha, or this force them, attractions, attachments. They're not like physical ropes, but they're very powerful. They bind this person. This is an amazing thing. People have to realize that people think that, oh, I'm a free person, I go anywhere I want. But the bondage is there because the person gets deeply dejected if he does not get what he wants. And he has attractions which he cannot get rid of. So these attraction and these forces are very powerful. Cutting the bondage is not easy. But this person, such a person who does not have desire for the fruits and who has controlled his mind and he's given up the ownership of anything, he does not get bound because the ropes loosen up because of the divine power of the Lord, I guess. Ramanuja Bhashya explains this in a similar way. We are just saying the essence of Ramanuja Bhashya. Punarapi karmanaha jnanakarataiva vishodhyate. The karma has the form of jnana. The same aspect of the subject is same. Karma's form is actually jnana. So that is researched further in this. Nirashihi. We talked about nirashihi, all these things. Tyaktva sarva parigraha is one verse we need to understand what does it mean. Atmaika prayojanataya prakriti prakrita vastuni mamata rahitaha. Sarva parigraha means because he is only interested in the self, Atman. He does not have the attachment to anything material or anything matter or material or anything related to it. He doesn't have the sense of, oh, this is mine. oh, that's my territory, my home, my this one. He does not have the ownership feeling. Yavat jivam kevalam charineme karma kurvan. As long as he lives, he just works enough to just keep his body together, so that he has food, basic food, water, shelter kind of thing. And whatever he needs for the yajnas, whatever facilities he needs for the yajnas, he works. He works and does everything, but he doesn't go beyond those requirements. Kilbisham here means samsaram, according to Ramanuja. Kilbisham is bondage, that is going from birth to death to birth, things like that. As being caught in the cycle of births and deaths and all the things which come with life. Jnana-nishtha vyavadhana rahita kevala karma-yogenaiva evam rupam atmanam pashyati kurvan apnoti kilbisham. Apnoti, think about this, apnoti. Kurvan apnoti means he attains something. What does he attain? Jnana-nishtha vyavadhana rahita. That means without the Jnana Yoga, without doing Jnana Yoga, only merely doing Karma Yoga only, by Karma Yoga, he achieves this kind of a self which is specific to him. Pashyati ityartha. Achieves means he sees his self. So what is the result of this? He realizes who the I is. Beyond what I know who I am so and so. Not like that. He knows the very true nature of self. He realizes the power of self and he sees it. Here, the realization is at the beginning level. That is why he said pashyati, he says. In the second chapter, Atma Avalokana was said. That means seeing the self. Here also it's a pashyati, means seeing the self. One can say, an important point should be understood here. Why is Sri Krishna repeating this idea again and again? Why can't he just say it in one shloka and be done with it? Because to understand this concept, it's hard. Because do we know what realization means? What does the self-realization mean? We just hardly know it. Even after understanding the shloka, we don't have an idea of what the self-realization is. So he is making it clearer and clearer using several shlokas. Here again, manas, the word atma here means manas. And in Sri Bhashya 245, that is second chapter 4 and 4.5, Sri Ramanuja.org comments, while commenting on a particular sutra called Hastadayastu Stiteto Naivam, where the mantra, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad mantra is explained in that. That is probably the main Upanishad verse for that particular sutra. Dasheme Purushe Pranaha Atma Ekadashaha. Here, the 11th one is Atma here. There are 10 other Purushaha, Purushe Pranaha. There are 10 entities in this human being. Atma Ekadashaha. The 11th one is the Atma, which is actually Manas. So Ramanujacharya, so the word Manas can mean, the word Atma can mean Manas also, that is mind also. So why is Atma known as the mind? Adhyavasaya, Abhimana, Chinta, Vritti Bhedat, Manayeva, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta Shabdaihi, Vyapadishyate, Iti Ekadesha Indriyani. So Adhyavasaya means, I'm going to do a determination to do things, to do or not to do. Abhimana means, this is mine. Abhimana means in a sense of ownership, sense of, this is mine, or things like that. Chinta vritti, thoughts and thinking about and being worried. Vritti bhedat, manayeva buddhi ahankara chitta shabdaihi vyapadishyate iti ekadeshendriyani. So the word mind, mana, is also that it may refers to buddhi or intellect, or ahankara, or the ego, or chitta is the storage of all the like a memory storage. So different words mean mind itself. So what does it mean here in this context? In this context, it says that this yogi, karma yogi, does not have the worries of material aspects and whatever is related other to matter or his body. His mind is free of any worries, and his focus is only on the self, and nothing else does he worry about. We don't need the next. These are some complications. We don't need some details here. So, yavat jivam shariram kevalam karma kurvan apnoti kilbisham. See, it is very hard to give up the association of sharira. Any activity, eating, sleeping, all these things are not easy to give up. Almost impossible to give up, right? That's not meant here. It's only the association, the connection, which should be given up, or the interest in the fruits of karma related to the mind. And shariram kevalam karma can also mean any activity which is just to make sure the body is working, body is okay, and not to do something extra. It's not intended for other purposes like getting swarga or heaven or something like that. So shariram kevalam karma also indicates this is for only karma yoga, not to do jnana yoga here. So the whole point here is using karma yoga alone, one can get self, one can see the self. This is a significant view of Sri Ramanujacharya. That means by karma yoga itself, without entering into jnana yoga, one can have the vision of self, that is his jivatma, directly. This is a very distinct view of Ramanujacharya. Other acharyas may or may not agree with this. Once, long time back, one of my gurus, Sri S.M.S. Chari, was writing a book on Bhagavad Gita, and he was stuck with this idea. So I understand that yes, with karma yoga alone, one can attain self. That is, you can see this Atma. But I don't have a verse which directly mentions that, because here the shloka does not indicate that Atmanam kurvan apnoti kilbisham is only said here. It doesn't say he can see the self, right? So there's no direct verse which supports this idea. That is what Sri S.M.S. Chari was telling me. And he was very old at the time. He was, he was not doing well health-wise, and he didn't have that many resources or even textbooks. In fact, I used to get my textbooks and keep it with him to when he was writing his book. Then he asked me to search for, can you give me one verse in Bhagavad Gita which says that from Karma Yoga directly one can get Atma Sakshatkara, or the sight of the self. So I searched all over the first 6 chapters. I could never find even one verse which directly indicates what Ramanujacharya said here. I became very upset, and then later on I said, okay, maybe it's said in some other chapter. So I kept on looking the rest of the chapters. Finally, I found this verse in the 13th chapter. Dhyanen atmani pashyanti kechid atmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. Here very clearly you see dhyanena atmani pashyanti. Kechit atmanam atmana. Atmani, that means using dhyana, meditation, some people see their self using their mind, atmana, atmanam atmana. Using their mind, they meditate and see their self. Anye sankhena yogena. The other people focus on the self itself, using Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga, and then they also see. See, Pashyanti is very clear there. Pashyanti means they see. Karma Yogena Chapare. Directly Lord Krishna mentions Karma Yogena. Using Karma Yoga, one can see self. So Karma Yoga is an alternative given here. So this is 13th chapter, 25th shloka. So I told this shloka to Sri Rasamachari. He was delighted because it took him several days to find it, and somehow accidentally I got this shloka. Just remembered him today. That's all. The next shloka is 22nd. Yadricha labha santushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha Samo Siddhav-asiddhau cha kritvapi na nibhadyate. The meaning of this verse is Yadricha labha santushtaha means one should be contented with whatever directly comes to him without too much effort. Dvandvatitaha. Dvandvatitaha means obviously there are dualities in life, heat or cold, sadness or happiness, wealth, poverty or richness. All these things, ups and downs, occur in life. One should not be affected by that. Dvandvatitaha, we should go beyond it, beyond duality. Vimatsaraha, one should be without, a person who is without jealousy. So a person with these kind of characteristics, without jealousy means, oh, I am poor, somebody is rich. He should not have that, he or she should not have that attitude. Samo Siddhav-asiddhau cha, gains or losses, whether he gains or loses, he does not get perturbed. Kritvapi na nibhadyate, such a person does not get bound though performing karma. Ramanuja Bhashya here. Yadricha upanata sharira dharana hetu vastu santushtaha. Whatever comes to him naturally for the support of his body, he is happy with it. Dvandvatitaha. Dvandvatitaha means yavat sadhana samapti. See, you are doing sadhana. That is, this person is doing sadhana. Karma yoga is a sadhana. Arjuna is doing karma yoga by being engaged in the war. War is a karma yoga for a kshatriya. So different people have different karma yogas. So yavat sadhana samaptyartham, till you get achievement, till you get success, there is always a chance that a person will experience pleasure or pain, hot or cold treatment. Vimatsaraha. So Vimatsara can be explained a little bit further. Without jealousy means what? Whatever comes to me, or whatever good things happen to me or bad things happen to me, is only because of my karma, whatever actions I have done in my past. Because of purva karma, whatever I have done in my past lives or whatever I've done before this point of time. So I may have only so much wealth or so much, whatever the situation is, I may have even maybe health problems or whatever. These are all because of purva karma. So if you see somebody healthy or somebody with more money or somebody wealthy, this person should not have any any perturbation in his mind. He should not be affected, because he says that is purva karma, because it's not because of anything but because of my own purva karma. This is the situation. So this person balances his mind, saying that, look, in the past I have done something really bad to get where I am today. It doesn't matter. I'll use my freedom today and try to do something right. That's all. Samo Siddhav-asiddhau cha yuddhadi karmasu jayadi siddhyoho samachittaha. While doing karma yoga, Arjuna may win or may lose a portion of his army, or wealth, whatever can happen to him. He should have samachitta. That is, mind should be steady with equanimity. Karmaiva kritvapi jnananishtam vinapi na nibhadyate na samsaram padipadyate. Such a person verily acting with focus and activity here in the form of karma yoga, and without doing jnana-nishta, he is not sitting and meditating on Atman at all. He is doing no jnana-nishta. Still, he is not bound by bound into this samsara. That means he is not, he will get released because nothing binds him. These activities will not bind him. Even in the third chapter itself, it says, yajna karmas will not bind. Other karmas, selfish actions will bind, but the karmas which are supporting yajnas are not, does not create bondage. We knew that, right? We studied that. The same thing I explained earlier. We'll go further. Gata sangasya muktasya jnana-avasthita chetasaha yajnaya acharatah karma samagram pravidiyate. The meaning of this verse is Gata sangasya muktasya. That means whose attachments are all gone, who is free. Jnana-avasthita chetasaha, whose mind is established in jnana or knowledge. Yajnaya acharatah karma. Yajnaya acharatah karma means who does works connected to sacrifices and sacrifices. That is yajna work. Samagram praviliyate. His entire karma is burnt. This is the meaning of the shloka. Ramanuja Bhashya here, Atma Vishaya Jnana Avasthita Manatvena. His mind is very well established in Atma, self. Nirgata Tadittara Sangasya. That means he is devoid of any attachments to anything else other than Atman. Tatayeva Nikhila Parigraha Vinirmuktasya. He does not have the ownership attitude. This is mine, that is mine kind of an attitude with anything. Ukta Lakshana Yajnadi Karma Nivrittaye. He is working and living only to do the activities of yajna, which is selfless activities. Purushasya bandhahetu bhutam. Such a person's bondage, right? What can create bondage? Purva prachina karma. Such prachina karma will get burned. So he will not have any reason to have bondage because the elements that cause the bondage is the prachina karma. Such prachina karma are previous activities, whatever activities he has done hitherto. Samagram praviliyate means everything gets burnt. Nishesham kshiyate. It is not there anymore. How does it get burnt? By the power of Lord, by the blessings of the Lord, his daya, which is assumed, but we will, it is clarified in some other shloka, but we are just saying it in this shloka. What we need to remember in this shloka is very clear. This time, because he has already established himself in the previous verses, what they, he has established in selfless activities. Because of that, already his purva karmas are getting burned. So he's all, and he doesn't have to consciously act anymore. Automatically, he will act naturally without attachment. So that becomes his second nature. He doesn't have to think about it. He has graduated himself to the next level. So he is very powerful now. Nothing binds him. It's natural to him. So initially he needs some control. Later on, he doesn't have to willfully control anything. His life will go towards self-realization because of burning up of karmas. Praviliyate means it get dissolved. Laya means dissolution. Praviliyate means powerfully gets destroyed. All his karmas or prior karmas will get destroyed with the will of Lord, who gives the karma, he is who gives the effects of all karmas. The next shloka is very important. We will finish up the shloka and then go for maybe question answers. This shloka is, you know, the shloka very powerful. Brahmārpaṇam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmana Hutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma Karma-phalasangam. This is a very famous verse. The introduction to this verse is Prakriti Yukta Atma Swarupan Sandana Yuktataya Karmano Jnana Karatvam Muktam. What it says is, we already have talked about this, that Karma Yoga deals with the nature, that is, Karma Yoga keeps in mind, while doing Karma Yoga, one keeps in mind the self which is different from Prakriti. So because of that, actions, Karma Yoga have the Jnana Karatva, or is of the form of knowledge or Jnana. Idanim sarvasya saparikarasya karmana. Now, all activities, whatever it may be, they are all ensouled by the Parabrahman. Everything around us is ensouled by Parabrahman. And knowing that everything is ensouled by Parabrahman, since this person acts, all activities and all things which support these activities are of the form of Jnana only. So everything around us is the form of Jnana. This is an important verse. Let us think about how such a meaning can be understood. Such a meaning comes up. How does this shloka, how can we understand it in such a way? Brahmārpaṇam Brahmahavihi, we already said this is the verse. Brahmārpaṇam. Arpanam means what you offer, or the tools which we use to offer. See, the analogy here is an actual sacrifice where somebody is taking some ghee or some purified butter and then using a ladle, they're offering it to a fire in front of it. So this is the analogy. But in Karma Yoga is the general idea here. So Karma Yoga, it could be even a war. It could be anything else. That is really the activity here. That is, Karma Yoga is the activity. So if you look at the analogy of the yajna, Brahmārpaṇam, that means the ladle or the spoon or whatever you use for yajna, that is also Brahman. How can it be Brahman? Brahma here refers to the Lord, that is the Ishvara or Brahma. How is that? How is this handle Parabrahma? Because it is the effect of that Brahman. Remember, long time back in the Jnana Vijnana lecture, we said Jnana is identical to Brahman, and Jnana becomes this universe, and that becomes Vijnana. This whole universe is actually an effect of that Jnana or the Lord, and the Lord himself becomes the universe. And that's why we gave the analogy of Big Bang Theory, where a point in the very early times, it becomes this whole universe, right? So similarly, that point Bindu is that Parabrahman. That Parabrahman becomes all this universe. So even the spoon or anything you use to in the yajna is also an effect of Parabrahma, effect. So we call we call these two terms, right? Karya, Karana. Karya means effect. Karana means cause. So the cause is Brahman. The effect is also Brahman, because the effect is made out of the cause. Like how a pot is made out of mud, like this universe is made out of God. Brahmagno Brahmana has been of Brahmagno Brahmana. Even the Agni or the fire is Brahman, because even that is the effect of Parabrahman. Brahmana means the doer or the jiva or the self which is offering, the actor, the karta. That person is also Parabrahman. How? Because he is the effect of Parabrahman, because this universe of mobile and immobile things, sentient and non-sentient things, the whole universe is an effect of that Parabrahman. So the Jiva is also an effect of Parabrahman. And the doer, who is the Jiva, he is actually, can be said as Brahma. Brahmana hutam. That means Brahma offers, Brahma does the sacrifice. That is the Jiva there. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. This person has to go to Brahma. Here Ramanuja Bhashya is very unique. We need to understand. Brahma karma samadhina means what? Such a doer firmly knows that all activities are Parabrahman only. All these activities are because the effects of the original Big Bang, which is the Brahman became this universe. I'm just using the Big Bang in a spiritual sense here. So Brahman became the universe. All activities in this world is him only. So all karmas are him only. So this person knows that very well while doing this yajna. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. Brahma here, the last word, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. Ramanuja says this Brahmaiva is individual self. So the person who is doing could be an effect of Brahman. But what he achieves by after this sacrifice, what does he achieve? He achieves individual self, who is also the form of effect of Brahman. That means what is the goal? The goal here is achieving individual self-realization. So by doing this karma yoga, he realizes self-realization. But the term used here in the original verse is Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. Lord Krishna mentions the word Brahma, but Ramanujacharya says it is Jiva what is being achieved. Realization of the individual self is Jivatma Sakshatkara, or realization of this Jiva is what being achieved here. Question is, why Jiva? When Lord Krishna himself says Brahmaiva tena gantavyam is Brahma, it's directly Brahman. Why not say this person achieves Brahman himself? Why Jiva? This question comes up, right? I might have, keep this question in your mind. So, do you understand the question properly? The question is, everything is an effect of Brahman, but by all this karma yoga, one achieves Jiva, or the self-realization of only not God realization here. Why Ramanujacharya mentions self-realization or Jivatma Sakshatkara, while Lord Krishna mentions Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, he has to achieve Brahman. That's what it is said in the shloka, but here Ramanujacharya says that is only Jivatma Sakshatkara. This is the question. I want you to think about it. I will talk to you about it. I think I have answered this question, but maybe I will not answer this question this week. I want you to think this would be the quiz for next week. So you think about this and let me know. Now, we'll go to the meanings here. We have already explained the first two sentences. Now, Brahmārpaṇam iti havihi visheshyate. That's what we are explaining here below. If you look at the explanations here, Brahmārpaṇam iti havihi visheshyate means whatever, we already talked about this actually. That is, the offering is Brahman. The instrument used, the ladle, etc., which is known as srak, sruva, they are also Brahman. And yasya havisha arpanam tad Brahmārpaṇam. And also the what you offer as havis or the ghee, that is Brahman. The materials are all Brahman. The actions are Brahman, which is we already said. Tena Brahma karma samadhina Brahmaiva gantavyam. Brahma karma samadhi is that sadhaka, that is the person who is offering the fire. So Jivatma Swarupa is achieved, which is also an effect of Parabrahman. So while a ordinary person does any activities, those activities will bind him. And that activities will be a form of just actions, that's all. And that actions will bind him more and more. But for a mumukshu, or whose focus is only on achieving release from this bondage, for that person, activities, everything will become ensouled by Parabrahman, ensouled by God, and all activities become of the form of jnana. And what will he get? Sakshad Atmavalokanam, that means the vision of the individual self. That is what he gets. That's the summary of it. So we finished this lecture. Any questions? Did you understand the quiz? And any questions regarding this lecture?
Just a comment, Krishna.
What did you say?
Just a comment, not really a question. It kind of appears that Bhagavan is kind of recommending sannyasatva here.
Why?
Because whatever is needed as a prerequisite is all coming under like sannyasa. I mean, you have to give up everything.
He didn't say give up everything, did he? See, yajna, right? Yajna means he has to go and earn for a living. He said, okay, you can earn for a living. But don't get things, or don't instead of don't get more than what you want for the yajnas. This whole body, activities, everything you need, yes. So he's not saying run away and becoming a monk. Did he say that? No. He said this is karma yoga. So the thing is, think that everything is ensouled by Brahman. That's all. And you're acting right here. But don't be greedy and go pick up 47,000 homes or 50 homes. You need one home, or buy 47 properties. Oh no, that will be enough for my grandparents, grandkids, or the next 100th generation or something. That is all more than you require. That means you are doing much more than what you need. Suppose you achieve, suppose you went and bought a lottery ticket and you got a $5 billion lottery. That's fine. If you use the money to the right purpose of charity and yajnas. There is nothing wrong in earning a lot of money. In fact, the reverse is the situation. Bahuda artham mamanyat. Shastra says, you have to achieve a lot of money. You have to get a lot of money. Kimartham, dharmartham. Two, kimartham means why should you achieve money? So that you can do a lot of dharmic activities, yajna related activities. So there is nothing wrong in earning money and having even big homes, and maybe even, for example, if you remember, a great karma yogi was Janaka. Janaka was a king, and a king means he had a huge amount of property, palaces, and everything he had. But here he was still a karma yogi. It's in the attitude, not it's not exactly living with only little and all those things. But for an ordinary person, you don't need to be a king. If you just take your, keep your body and soul together, and if you, give some food, water, shelter to it, and then that's not sufficient. That's why it is said like this. Your question is good. Good thought. And in fact, other acharyas mentioned this is sannyasa here. Ramanuja Acharya refuses and says this is not regarding sannyasa.
It's because the word sannyasa is used. That's what it kind of leads to think that way.
Where is sannyasa used here? Brahma Karma Samadhi is used. Brahmārpaṇam is used. That's all. Then in previous sloka, Gata Sangasya Muktasya Yajnaya Acharata Karma Samagram Vilete, that Muktasya, like Gata Sangasya is there without attachment, right? Attachment is different from giving up things, right?
Yeah.
Even here, it is not, there is no sannyasa mentioned or giving up is mentioned. Prior to this, Tyaktva Karma-phalasangam, ownership, give the idea that you own everything. At every moment, you can be sitting in a 45,000 square foot home, but you think that everything belongs to God, not you. That can go away in one shot. It's not yours. As long as you're feeling that it's not yours, that means you have true knowledge, because you cannot be sure about anything in this world. A lightning can hit, the home can go away, or there can be an asteroid coming from outer space and then taking away the entire city. You don't know. So nothing external is permanent. That is the true nature. Just understand that while doing anything, then you'll be okay. That's what it mentioned here. Any other questions? Hope it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question? So now you know what the quiz is. With all these things, in the last verse, Brahmārpaṇam, Brahmahavi, Brahmāgnau, Brahmanāvantam, Brahmaivatena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. It was said like this. In this verse, Brahma karma samadhina. Everything is Brahma, the word is Brahma here. And Brahmaivatena gantavyam is what Lord Krishna says is he attains Brahman himself. Brahmaivatena gantavyam. In fact, the Evakara is there. Brahman only. Tena gantavyam means he will achieve. Why did Ramanujacharya says he achieves self-realization, not God realization? This is the quiz. Hope the quiz is clear. Please think about it and let me know. I will post the quiz on the Telegram channel also, maybe on the email also. Any other question? There's probably no questions. We will finish this class today now. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.